Welcome back. You're watching Startup Central with me, Nayantara, working from home. Are you one of those who can't wait for 2020 to end? What are your plans for the New Year's Eve? Are you going to go out? Is it safe to go out? What kind of options are there? I'm going to be discussing that and a lot more with two of India's most celebrated restaurateurs, Singh as well as Riyaz Malani. It's always a pleasure talking to both of you. It's we've interacted so many times this pandemic year of 2020, which has been so bad for those in tourism, hospitality, and of course, F&B. On December 31st, as some states flirt with the idea of curfews, Maharashtra still has one. What's going to happen? We're already hearing how New Year's Eve may have to be celebrated a whole hour early in Mumbai. May not be a bad thing saying goodbye to 2020 an hour earlier, but Riyaaz, this kind of uncertainty, what has it meant for business? What has it meant for all your restaurants? There's also a time when we see, if I may say so very politely, very expensive packages for New Year's Eve.
So Nayantara, we just, the business was just coming back. Things were beginning to look up. And then we had this bolt from the blue, which was a sudden curfew. So all our plans have actually turned to dust. We were having great bookings. Some of them have actually called it off and decided to take the party where the party can start at 12 o'clock. But there are still a lot of people who want to come out and celebrate. I think this probably 2020 is probably the worst year known to mankind. And I think we can't just wait to say goodbye to it. So the way I see it is that we want to encourage people to say goodbye to it a little earlier and be compliant with the rules and celebrate things Thailand style, just 1.5 hours earlier in that case, because who wants 2020 to long laster than it should, right?
Yeah, I would add to that, Nayantara, that I think most of us, most of the world has been ready to say goodbye to 2020 for a long time now. And I think the passion for it to end and the rest of our lives to start is very, very high. As it is, as we know, everybody looks forward to this bit of the year end. So one time everybody lets their hair down, celebrates. And this year is even more than ever before. Of course, people are worried. There's no question, some of them. But you see, most overseas offices don't work now. So there's much less work pressure for people as well. Secondly, things here are also slower anyway. Most people are working from home. And thirdly, as both of us, all of us know, everybody wants to go out and celebrate this moment. Can be an hour early, can be 2 hours early, is not the important thing. So all of us restaurants, even though there are curfews in Bombay, in Hyderabad, there was in Bangalore, which has just been lifted. But nevertheless, whatever the rules are, we're all really looking forward to celebrating, bringing it in as celebratory a way as we can. And the Olive Group in different cities and different brands has planned different activities within the rules, keeping everybody's safety in mind, which is, of course, very important, so that people can enjoy this one moment of saying bye-bye to 2020.
But Singh, tell me, are your restaurants sold out for December 31st in all the cities that you're in?
Nayantara, to be honest, as we've seen through the lockdown, there's been so much uncertainty about what's coming next. Things have been locked down, then eased up, then relocked. Timings have changed, rules have changed. Fair enough, because this is a situation everybody's grappling with. So people have been pretty much waiting till the last minute to figure out what the rules in their city are and therefore making their plans. So our restaurants are not yet sold out, but there have been a huge number of inquiries at almost all of them in every city. And I'm expecting any time now for people to make up their minds about what they want to do and how they want to bring in the new year.
Riyaaz Amlani, are you seeing something similar across your restaurants? Are you sold out? And if you aren't sold out, what are you doing to convince people to come and be social at social?
Social has always believed in being social and responsible at the same time, and you can be social while distancing. So we've always been following those protocols. We found it very, very interesting Christmas and Christmas Eve this year. We found that while we were not 100% sold out because social does not take reservations, we only allow walk-ins. We were quite surprised to see the amount of people who actually came out on Christmas Eve, and even more people who actually came out on Christmas Day. And we are expecting to see the same. We are expecting people to come out on the 31st, on the eve of New Year, and we are expecting a lot more to come out on the 1st. And we are expecting the 1st to be the best 1st we've ever had, actually, because the night before everybody will be home a little earlier, and they'll be raring to go the next day. There's a tremendous sense of occasion in people that this year is ending. I have never seen so much unbridled joy for a new year ever before. And while these government regulations may be a little bit of a dampener, I still see that the need for people to go out and to go have a great time is humongous. So I'm betting that all of us restaurateurs will be pleasantly surprised by the spirit of people who've suffered untold hardships this year, and I don't think a little curfew is going to keep them down.
But the fact is there is still, of course, concern. There is fear. We keep getting mixed reports on what's happening on ground as well. So let me ask you the big trend also that we saw in 2020, that is, everybody getting into the delivery business, cloud kitchens becoming the way to go. ED Singh, is that, and I'm not asking you specifically if you don't want to tell me for the Olive Group, but is that the way industry is also trying to go forward for New Year's Eve plans? Is it about a couple of friends or family members getting together and then, calling up their favorite restaurants or going on, whether it's a Zomato, Swiggy or whatever it is, and getting those dishes? Is that what New Year's Eve is going to be about this time?
So, Nayantara, it's a wide question. It's a good question. There's no doubt that the delivery business has grown hugely through this entire lockdown, and will continue to now be at a different level with very good numbers. My company and what I'm good at, and what companies like mine, and I dare say Impresario, etc., are also very good at, is creating great dine-in experiences. And so that continues to be our main focus. And as Riyaaz said, we've seen through this week people coming in all day to Olive in Bandra, Monkey Bar, because they're in that mood and they'll go with the rules and want to enjoy themselves. So I think, again, number one priority will be to go somewhere you love with a bunch of friends and enjoy yourselves with the rule. You want to go somewhere where you feel safe. And that's why I feel brands like ours, which are responsible and make the effort, have a lot of systems and processes in place, give that comfort to people. Beyond that, is the partying at home going to be bigger this year? Of course, no doubt, with the timing rules in most of India, it will be bigger. And there's a good delivery opportunity for all of us. We say, for example, our brands, we really see Fatibao as doing very big delivery throughout the year, but particularly on New Year's Eve. Yet I'd say nothing can replicate the experience of coming to one of our places and having a fun evening out, starting a little earlier, ending a little earlier. Nothing beats that.
Riyaaz, what about you? Parties at home, is that what the big thing will be this New Year's Eve? And then what are you doing about it?
So yes, there are a lot of people who are hosting parties at home. A lot of customers are actually coming out to have a drink and then moving the party back to their own homes. And we, Social has created a social party start menu, which basically means you just tell us how many people you're going to expect at home, and we will take care of, we will order the starters, we'll order the main course, we'll get you the mixers, we'll get you the cocktail mixers. The party at home will be stress-free, and you'll have a great time at home. So a lot of restaurants are going to be doing catering at home. We've got tremendous amount of orders from our brands Ishara and Slink and Bardo and Souffle as well. Social, of course, is catering the whole party for anyone if they want that to happen. So a lot of people will come out, have a a little tipple, celebrate life, and then go home and continue partying at home. That's going to happen.
So basically, pre-game, except that pre-gaming is not going to be at home, but going to be at restaurants, and the after party, if you can say so, will be the real party and the ones at home. Now, AD Singh, this has been such a bad year. You've seen some support at least come in from the Maharashtra government with respect to the license fee of alcohol and all of that. A lot of other states still have to do it. It's also a year where we've heard so much about how technology is going to be driving our future experiences. How do you see technology driving the dine-in experience in 2021?
Nayantara, me, Riyaaz, were you asking that too?
To you, AD Singh.
Me? Okay. Nayantara, we see technology really giving customers a lot of comfort by making a lot of the process more touch-free and more, very helpful through technology, whether it's bookings, reservations, looking at menus, ordering your food, paying your bill. So all that part of the process that can be automated and go online will be, and that'll marry very well with the whole experience, the food, the ambience, the pleasure of being out with your family and close friends. They'll marry together seamlessly to give you, let's say, a more modern experience, but just as good as, if not better than before, and definitely more safer for today's times.
Riyaaz, what about you? We've seen how restaurateurs have had no choice. They made all these large investments for dine-in experiences. Now it all has to be about dine-out experiences, take-out menus, cloud kitchens, all of that. Going into 2021, the year of hope, optimism, some good news on vaccines and all of that. How do you see technology defining the dine-in experience in the new year?
Well, all restaurateurs were out of work since March for a while. And we've had the chance to look at something that we've never really looked at harder before, which is technology. And we've done all the work. Customers can now customers can expect to see digital menus in a lot more restaurants. The people don't even have to hold a menu. They can look at the menus on their own phones. They can order through their phones, and they can even pay through their phones. So we've done all of that hard work, and customers have gotten used to the same process inside a restaurant as they would sitting at home, which is ordering using their thumbs. I think 2021 is actually going to be the rebirth of going out and dining out again, because I think customers have had their fill of sitting at home and ordering. I think 2021 will be the year where people go out and actually reclaim their lives. Shower with the technology, I say, bring back people, bring back the good old times and reclaim our lives. But I'm really, really excited. I think we've all been through a kind of a hockey stick, emotional ride where we're saying, oh, you know what, it's just as good being at home, and oh, you know what, we can just order food at home, to a point where we've actually begun to really, really miss that aspect of life, and we've begun to value that a little bit more. So I really see 2021, while we've done all the hard work in technology, I think the good old favorites such as people and laughter and togetherness will see a major comeback in 21. And technology will have to try and make itself scarce by getting out of the way rather than in the way. Weird, huh?
AD Singh, before I start wrapping up, I want to ask you one question, and it's going to be very broad-based and things like that, and indulge me if you can. 2020, did you see food habits change? Did you have to change your menu for that? And is that something that you see going into 2021? I'm going to ask Riyaaz the same question, but I'm asking you first.
Okay. Nayantara, before I answer that, before we start wrapping up, I'd just like to wish everybody watching from the Olive Group a very happy new year, and hope next year is much better for you and for all of us. In terms of what we saw this year in food trends, it has been, as you know, a very tricky year, Nayantara. And so people were trying to play it safe. They wanted to go back to their favorite restaurants, but they wanted to hedge their bets a bit, so go for a shorter bit of time. In the beginning, they wanted their food coming quicker. There was a focus on the menus, not on such elaborate menus, but more easier to eat, spending less time at the restaurants. However, I'm happy to say that by December now, the industry is seeing a greater level of comfort amongst our customers and our old regulars to come back. They've been a few times, they're getting more and more comfortable. They're seeing the systems and the processes. And so therefore their fear factor with the brands that they trust has gone down a lot. And they're now coming back to their old habits. So for example, at Olive Delhi, we have an all-day menu and a very elaborate, beautifully plated, very well presented menu. And that menu is again started to do outstandingly, and people are coming to it in droves. So I think the great thing is, as time is going on, people have started getting used to coexisting with the pandemic, and they're trying to live their lives as safely and carefully, but as normally as they used to. And that's a very encouraging sign, I'd say, for the economy in general and for our industry in particular. Okay, sweetie, perfect.
Oh, of course, there's a multiplier effect at play. Riyaaz, if I can come to you now, did you see consumer behavior patterns, preferences for food change, and is it going back to what it was pre-corona, like AD Singh has observed?
Yeah, I echo AD Singh when he says that people are coming back to restaurants, and that's beginning to happen. And that's the reason why we have big smiles on our faces, because customers, we are not being able to, customers are not getting enough of going out again, of course. All the hard work needed to be in place. Systems and protocols and safety measures needed to be in place. Training needed to be in place. But I think once customers have tentatively stepped out and begun enjoying going out, and the confidence has returned, so they're coming back. In terms of trends, I think conscientious eating is definitely was big. People were turning towards health. I think that's one of the trends that will continue to stay. People care about where the food has come from. They care about whether it's organic or not. They care about the provenance of the ingredients. They care about eating local and reducing carbon footprint of the consumption habits and lifestyle. I think those trends will stay a little bit. But I think that people are really done staying at home. So we expect more people to come back. Another trend that I see staying and not going anywhere in a hurry is work from home. A lot of corporates have, adopted work from home as a strategy going forward. So we do anticipate that will continue even when there's a cure or when there's a vaccine in circulation. So we are preparing for work from home and using our restaurants as workplaces, like social has a work from social. That's something that we really see being an emerging trend for us in 2021. And I think that's going to become stronger and stronger.
With that, I'd like to thank both of you for joining us here on this edition of the Startup Central. It's always great talking to you. Happy New Year's to both of you, and of course, all your teams, whoever's watching over here. Culinary Tales there, trend spotting with AD Singh as well as Riyaaz Malani. Right into us. Tell us what you're planning for New Year's Eve. Are you going out? Why are you not going out? If you're going out, where are you going? We want to hear from you. With that, we're completely out of time. Bye-bye.